Would like to speak today on a couple of things that Stericycle has available to help with the issue of home-generated sharps. And heard a lot of great information today, a lot of great programs. It's obvious that it's a problem that is broad-based, and then the solutions as well are broad-based and innovative. There's no just one best way to do this. It's all dependent. So I'd like to talk a little bit about the mailback solution and a little bit about Community Sharps collection. Start with the mailback solution, and that is the service that we're going to be providing through Republic. One of the common misconceptions about a mailback system is that any Sharps container can be sent back through the mail. As long as it's an FDA Sharps container, you ought to be able to mail it someplace. Unfortunately, that's not the reality. You can start with an FDA approved Sharps container, but in order to have it incorporated as part of a mailback system, the entire system is subject to some very stringent tests that have to be performed on a biannual basis and then approved, each kit, by the Postal Service for use. And this is designed to protect the public safety and the safety of the postal workers at large as these mail pieces move through the postal system as priority mail. So in order to be able to do that, you have to pass a pretty high bar, and it accounts for things like leak worthiness, absorption, extra puncture resistance, and then our favorites, the put it in the freezer for 24 hours and drop it 30 feet onto concrete 5 times. And that's one of the tests that not everybody knows about. But if you go to the Postal Service website and read through the domestic mail manual down there in chapter 10.17, it does explain in detail all the requirements of a mailback program. And they are all cost factors, and they do add to it. So it's not the most efficient, it's not the cheapest solution out there, but it's a very convenient solution as well. As James said, the 1.4 quart system is a favorite of home generators, particularly if they use the smaller of the diabetic needles. It will hold upwards of 75 to 80 depending on the syringe itself. The 1 gallon can get up to about 200 if they're very small needles, and then anything less than that if the syringe is a little larger. Again, the mailback, when the system goes out, it has to be, at least the way that we offer it, it has to be complete, and that is in the hands of the generator. It contains all the components, all the instructions that are necessary to properly fill the kit, safe the kit, and then manifest the kit, send it back into Stericycle for disposal, and then we'll report back to them. And that includes the prepaid postage and the pre-printed address labels and manifest as well. We do sell our containers directly, kits rather, directly to home users. We also sell them through distributors, so they're available in bulk distribution, bulk quantities as well. We work with a number of companies and some municipalities to help do that. We can either ship directly to a central redistribution point, or we can work with the client to receive their individual fulfillment records and then do the point out to distribution to the individual residents. The other thing I wanted to focus on a little bit is community collection. We have a little mini kiosk here. It's a demonstrator version of the one that Stericycle has manufactured. A number of them are in use in California, a lot of them up in the Sacramento area, and this is a convenient solution that's designed primarily for hospitals, pharmacies, local government buildings. The way that the model works is the collection location purchases the kiosks and the internal containers, and then Stericycle provides the waste removal services. A couple of things about kiosks, and I know there's a lot of them that are out there, a lot of different manufacturers of kiosks, and they're all great ideas. I've yet to see a kiosk that's designed just to be out unattended in the elements and never needs to be managed or maintained. It's very important that somebody is looking after the kiosk on a regular basis. They do have the opportunity to become overfilled. Occasionally people will put the wrong materials in. People will try and gain access to them when they shouldn't. So Stericycle tends to advocate putting a collection kiosk in a place that's manned and checking it frequently. Having said that, there are a couple of things that we have done in our particular kiosk that we think help make it a little bit more favorable. We do use heavy gauge steel. It has a locking mechanism and a counterweight drawer that pulls out. But one of the things that we've come up with is there's a particular 18-gallon PG2 container that we can nest up to 4 of them in the kiosk. So when you pull the drawer out and you look down, you can see through viewing grates of the status of how full the container is. And you have the servicer has the keys to the front of it, and they have the capability, when they see that the container is full, they can pull the row of 4 containers out. The lids fit into the side slots. You can take one lid, put it on one container, pull it out. It goes in the RMW closet awaiting the pickup, and then you have 3 more. So you actually have 18 times 4, roughly 80 gallons of collection capacity on one run of containers. That's the instructions. It's on the top of the box. It comes in English and Spanish. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you very much for your time.